Hello everybody, this is S Trades and this is my first video for my YouTube channel. For those who don't know, my name is Aslan. I go by S Trades for this channel, and I wanted this video to be an introductory kind of video to what I do, what are stocks, what is trading, what is investing, all that kinds of sort of stuff. I'm going to be running this free mentorship slash bootcamp, whatever you guys want to call it. I'll probably be having around like quite a few videos, maybe like 10, 15 or even more. I don't have an exact video amount in mind yet, but I do know there will be quite a lot of videos for you guys, and it's all totally free, although my Discord members will have an early access to it. So if you guys are not part of the Discord, it's totally free. I'm not charging anything for it. Link is in the description. Click on it and join up. It's a good community that I'm going to be starting up. Pretty much I just want to be as transparent as possible with all of you guys, because the trading space is one of the most fakest and one of the biggest areas that are filled with a bunch of scammers. So I kind of want to become different with my community that I'm building. But back to this introductory video. So the question is, what is trading? What am I trading? What is everything that we're going to be talking about in this free mentorships? I've been trading for a few years now, almost 3 years, and I'm now day trading futures. This is what I'm doing every single day. And I've had experiences with other things before, like investing into stocks, trading options before, and none of it really kind of worked out for me. I've touched a little bit of crypto and forex here and there, and nothing really touched with me. I totally guarantee everyone that are interested in it to join up into that area and see. And if you don't know what any of the terms that I just mentioned means, don't worry about it. I'm going to be going into it later. So the first question you want to ask yourself is, what are you interested in? What time frame are you looking at to trade? What's your time horizon? What are you interested in? Those kind of questions. So there are so many different markets that you could trade. You could trade stocks, you could trade indices, you could trade ETFs, you could trade crypto, but there's like, it's countless. How much time do you have during your day? Because if you're looking to day trade, meaning that you're getting in and out of positions within one day, it could go anywhere from within like a few minutes, hours, maybe like 4 or 5 hours, or even like a few minutes. So if that's kind of where you are, then you're more on towards the day trading side. But if you're more on towards like, you kind of want to enter a position, hold it for a few days, maybe even weeks, that would be called swing trading. I was going to say S trading. If you just kind of want to put your money into something and then just hold it off for years, that's just simply investing. So I do all of it right now, but I'm mostly focusing on day trading, and this mentorship is going to be revolved around day trading futures. Now, what is futures, right? Futures is pretty much your trading contracts for a certain ETF or whatever you're looking at. It could be even oil, it could be gold, it could be silver, any commodities. There's a lot of things you could trade futures for. So if you guys had experience with options, you pretty much trade contracts for stocks the same way as how futures operate. You pretty much have a contract that you trade for the stock, and what the contract means on paper, it's a little complicated definition. Sorry, my cat just keeps on bothering. But futures are like is a derivative financial contract that makes a party to be obligated to purchase a certain asset during a certain time. You guys don't really need to know that definition, but that's kind of what it is. And when I say like an underlying asset, it's pretty much, it could be anything ranging from commodities, financial instruments, ETFs, and any of that sort of stuff. So in terms of what I'm trading, is I'm trading mostly NQ and S&P 500. For those who had any experiences with stocks or options before, NQ is just QQQ, and S&P 500 is the top 500 companies in America, is also known as SPY or SPDR. Or, I don't know, maybe you guys could ask why is it called futures. It's pretty much the contract that certain people buy, certain parties buy to kind of to make themselves safe and hedge in the future. So for example, a farmer could buy a future contract on whatever farm that he has, whatever crops or anything that he might have, to pretty much say like he thinks that something might go down, so he's purchasing that future contract in order to protect his assets, so he'll be able to purchase it later on for cheaper. That is not how I trade, because no one really holds those contracts until the expiration dates. So all you really need to focus on is kind of what futures are. You're pretty much trading the contracts for a certain underlying asset, so you're not really trading like the stock itself like you would if you were to buy shares. Now most of you guys are going to be focusing on the same thing I'm doing. For example, the S&P 500, which is ES, and NQ, which is NASDAQ, or QQQ, and maybe some people even trade gold. That's kind of like the three main underlying assets that people trade futures for. The reason why I trade futures is because it has so many benefits. Future contracts is just strictly purely price action. Now price action is literally whatever you're seeing on the screen when you're looking at the charts, so you're looking at those candlesticks. That's all that matters. There's nothing else that is affecting the price. There's nothing else that could affect your P&L. For example, with options, you have Greeks, you have like theta decay, you have delta, you have gamma, you have all these Greeks that cause your P&L to fluctuate. If the time is against you on for options, then you might still be at a loss even though your position is going towards your right way. With futures, you don't have that. Strictly pure price action. You also don't have the PDT rule, which is really important. If you're planning to trade on margin for like stocks or anything, you have to have a requirement of minimum of 25,000 in your brokerage account, unless you open up a cash account with whatever amount that you have, and your buying power is going to be equivalent to whatever asset that you purchased during the time. If you have $1,000 account and you purchase $1,000 worth of share, you're not able to buy anything else because you wasted your buying power. With futures, you have so much leverage and you have absolutely no PDT rule, which is kind of good and bad at the same time, because it kind of gives you unlimited risk, but also doesn't have any restrictions towards your trading like you would have with stocks or options. Now, the operating time hours for futures is from 6 p.m. to Sunday to 5 p.m. on Friday. It's pretty much, you could call it 24/7. The markets are open, but people are mostly trading New York Open, which is from 9:30 to 4. You could trade futures from anywhere from 6 p.m. on a Sunday to all the way to 5 p.m. on a Friday. They only have a break from 5 to 6, which is their like men's hour or whatever. You have the freedom to trade futures whatever time you want. So that also gives the freedom for those who are, let's say, working a 9 to 5 and they're not able to trade the New York session. They could still trade the London and the Asia session, which is more towards like the night or the midnight. So if you're looking to trade even overnight, futures is another benefit for you. I also forgot to mention the expiration dates for the future contracts. They usually expire within every 3 months, but you don't really have to worry about that unless you're holding those contracts till expiration, which nobody really does. The contracts kind of just roll out automatically for you. You'll have it kind of set and updated for you on your broker, whichever one you're using. Now going into how the future contracts move and how would you calculate certain things. So going into minis and micros. So what is mini and a micro? So one mini, it pretty much for ES and NQ is like the full entire contract for the asset. So for the ES, which is the S&P 500, every point that it moves, so every time that ES moves by a point, you would be getting $50. And for NASDAQ, which is NQ or QQQ as you might know it, for every point that it moves, it will be moving by $20. Now what micros is pretty much the smaller version of the full contract, which is 1/10 of it. So if you're trading MES, which is the micro for the ES, so for every point that it moves, it will be moving $5 instead of 50. And same thing for NASDAQ. Instead of moving for 20 points for MNQ, which is the micro, it will be moving by $2 each. So what's the difference? So minis is pretty much for people that have more experience and they're okay with the volatility and the leverage that they be getting. Micros is kind of great for just people that are starting to learn. You could literally start an account with as minimum as $50 to $100, and you could literally trade micros, but that's kind of not a good idea because I'll explain to you in a second why. Now you might be asking, like, well, how much money would you need for your account if you were to open up your own account? That's where you're looking at the margins. So for, let's say, if you're only trading for ES, right, there's something called a day margin and an initial margin. Day margin is pretty much however money you would need to just be able to purchase one contract and just kind of hold it without getting liquidated. Initial means that if you were to enter the contract and with the ES, this is how much you would need to hold the trade overnight. So as you can see, just to buy one contract and then sell it within that same day, you would need 500, and if you were to hold the contract for longer than 1 day, you would need 16,000. Kind of makes sense why the initial margin is so large, because futures are really volatile, and then especially with the markets that we're in right now, there's like 1,000-point moves every single day without a problem. So you would need a very high initial margin. So if you were to, let's say, interested in swing trading, meaning like if you were to trade futures for more than 1 day, you would kind of need a very high initial margin. But these are, again, full contracts. So for example, ES and NQs was what I trade. For NQ, again, just to purchase one contract, full entire contract, you would need $1,000. and to hold just one simple NQ contract, you would need 24,000 for to hold it overnight. If you were to, let's say, trade the micros, which is what we discussed earlier, if you were just to trade the smaller versions of the S&P 500, which is the MES, you would need as little as $50 to just purchase one contract and 1,600 to hold that trade overnight. Now, if you're trading NASDAQ like me, and you were trading the micros, which would be the MNQ, you would need $100 to purchase one contract, and if you were to hold it overnight, you would need $2,400 to again hold it overnight. The day margin is, again, like I said, is the bare minimum. You would never want to have your account at like $60 or whatever, because if your trade goes even like a cent lower than the day margin, you're going to get automatically liquidated, and the broker is going to give you a charge, like an extra fee that you broke the liquidation warning. So let's say we're going with a NASDAQ example, and $100 is what you need bare minimum to just have one contract. You would want to have like a decent amount in your account, like let's say $1,000, just so you have like the room and the wiggle space to kind of be able to lose a trade. Because if you were to just lose 9 trades, and if you're only losing $100 each, your account is going to be pretty much gone, and you could lose your account within seconds, which is again the downside of the futures, because it's so free and it doesn't have any restrictions, that you have literally so much freedom that you could legit lose your account in one singular day, and not within even minutes. Now, as for the brokers, there's so many different brokers that you could trade with, and it doesn't really matter that much. You could pretty much trade with whatever. The main kind of 3 that I would go for was Tradeovate's what I'm looking at right now. There's another Ninja Trader, which they own Tradeovate. There's Thinkorswim, Interactive Brokers, and so much more. So you could pretty much literally trade with whatever broker that you want if you're planning to trade with your own money. There's also another route, which is kind of what I trade at the moment, is by using prop firms. So we'll go into later in details what prop firms are, but just a quick rundown. What it is pretty much a outside firm that kind of gives you money to trade with, so you don't have to really risk your own money to it. But the only catch is that you have to purchase the challenge, and it's like a monthly subscription for it, and you have to pass that challenge within a month, or else you're going to be again charged obviously for that monthly subscription. And once you pass that challenge, you have to pay like an activation fee. If you meet the requirements and if you pass those challenges, you'll be getting paid out every like 5 days, or whatever the firm you're trading with. But again, we'll get into prop firms later. So now I'm just gonna want to show you guys something real quick of how this actually looks like. So this is TradingView, just one of the platforms that everybody knows is kind of like where you chart all your things, whatever you're looking at. So let's say if you want to trade the micros for NASDAQ, right? You would type in the MNQ, then you would have this micro E-mini NASDAQ 100 index futures pop up, right? And then this is what I'm talking about. These are all contracts, right? So MNQH, MNQM, right? These are all contracts that expire every 3 months. So currently we're in the MNQH contract. You don't really have to know. This is just pretty much every 3 months the name changes, right? Or you could just press MNQ1, which is the general contract for all the months, and it just automatically gets updated, which is kind of what I look at. So I have like historical data on my charts. So just by looking at this chart, like this is kind of what you'll be looking at every single day, just looking at your chart, seeing patterns, seeing whatever strategies that you might be having. I'll go into strategies again later on. Let's say for some reason right here, right, you think that price is going to go up, right? And you would enter a long, let's say right here, right? You'd enter a long, right? Boom, let's say you're targeting 200 points, right? Your stop was 100 points, right? Again, this is not so accurate, but just for the purpose of the video, for the visualization, this is just a tool in TradingView which just kind of allows you to put a long and a short position. If you think that the NASDAQ is going to go up 200 points all the way to this level, let's say you enter right here. Now, how would you know like how much you'll be gaining, how much you'll be losing? So remember what I said earlier, that for every point that the NASDAQ moves, I mean the MNQ moves, you gain $2, right? So in this case, these are the dollar amounts, these are the point amounts that I'm talking about. So every time, currently we're at 19,478. So as this goes up to 19,479, you get $2, right? Which might seem little, but in fact, like these are so volatile that you'll be getting money and losing money so super fast. So let's say you enter within one contract and then your price ends up going all the way over here to your take profit, which is 200 points. This is kind of what it shows you right here, right? So if you were to enter with one contract and it goes all the way over here, you'll be up $400. And then let's say your stop loss is over here at 100 points, right? Again, it's 102, but just for the visualization purposes, let's just say it's 100 points, right? So let's say your position goes down to 100, you'll be losing 200. So it's a 1 to 2 risk to reward. You'll be gaining 400 and you're risking 200. That's it. There's nothing else that influences the futures contract. So this is as easy as it gets. You literally just chart, put this thing on, and a lot of brokers kind of show you what your net loss and profit would be as you enter the position, so you wouldn't have to do the calculations yourself. As for the strategies, we'll be going into that later on, but this is just kind of an introductory video for you guys. I know I yapped a lot, but this is just kind of to get your feet wet, to just understand what is going on, what are we doing, what are we trading, right? I'm going to be wrapping up this video, guys. This was just a quick introduction video for you guys, just to understand what exactly I'm trading, how things move, how the things look like, which brokers you can use, and all that stuff. So if you guys again are any confused about the things that I said, if I went too fast, just let me know in the comments. But don't worry, because this was the first video and I kind of explained things very generally and very broadly. So don't worry if you didn't catch on to something, if you didn't understand it. You'll be kind of understanding everything pretty much as we go. I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.